Hey, welcome! So, if you're building an iOS app, one of the very first and honestly most important decisions you have to make is how you're gonna build your user interface. This is a choice that really sets the stage for your entire development process. And today, we're gonna break down all your options. So, which tool is it gonna be? I mean, are you just knocking out a quick prototype? Or are you building a set of components you can reuse everywhere? Or maybe you're on a huge team building a massive application. Answering that question is exactly what we're here to do. And trust me, this is not a small decision. The path you pick here impacts pretty much everything: how fast you can build, how easily you can work with other developers, and how easy or how painful your app will be to maintain a few years from now. Getting this right from the start can save you a world of headaches, for sure.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start by looking at your first big decision, then we'll meet our contenders. First, storyboards, the visual map. Next up, XIBs, which are like reusable pieces. After that, we'll dive into the code-first programmatic way. And finally, we'll have the ultimate showdown to help you figure out which path is right for you.
Okay, let's set the stage. When it comes to building what your users see and touch, there are three totally different philosophies. You can think of them as three different kinds of architects, and each one has their own favorite set of tools and blueprints. First up in the ring is our most visual contender, storyboards. If you're the kind of person who wants to see your entire app's flow laid out in one place, like a giant master blueprint showing every single room and hallway, well, this is your tool. A storyboard is, well, it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. It tells the visual story of your app. It's this one big file where you can lay out all your different screens and literally draw lines, which are called segues, to show how a user gets from, say, the login screen to the home screen. It is the ultimate bird's eye view. And this is where you really see the big trade-off. On the one hand, storyboards are amazing for getting started. You can build out a prototype super fast. But, and this is a big but, they can be a nightmare for teams. Because everything is in one giant file, you get these things called merge conflicts. That's when two developers change the same file and your version control has no idea how to put them together. It's a huge bottleneck. And here's what that actually looks like. You can pop open one file and see the entire user journey all laid out. From the main screen, they go to the login view controller, then the home view controller, and over to the profile. It's all right there, connected visually. Okay, let's move on to our next contender. Meet XIBs. Now, I want you to forget the master blueprint for a second. Instead, think of these as prefabricated, high-quality Lego bricks. You design one perfect piece, and then you can use it absolutely anywhere. So unlike a storyboard that tries to hold your whole app, an XIB file, which stands for XML Interface Builder, by the way, it focuses on just one thing at a time. It could be a really complex table cell, a custom button you designed, or even just one specific screen. That focus on being modular, that's its superpower. So yeah, the huge win here is reusability. You build a component once, you perfect it, and then you can just drop it in wherever you need it. It keeps your whole project way more organized. The trade-off, though, is you lose that high-level map we just saw with storyboards. You can't see how all the screens connect, because you have to manage all that navigation logic in your code. This is the perfect example. Just imagine you have this special button with a cool icon, a custom font, and a nice shadow, and it needs to appear all over your app. Well, you design it just once in a file called custombuttonview.xib, and then you can reuse that perfect, self-contained component anywhere you want. And now for our final contender. This is the choice of the purists, the pros, and especially the large-scale teams, the programmatic approach. If storyboards are blueprints and XIBs are Legos, then doing it programmatically is like building with raw clay. You have absolute total control over everything. Get this. With this method, you don't use a visual editor at all. There are no drag-and-drop files. Every single button, every label, every layout constraint that tells your views where to go, it's all defined line by line, right there in your Swift code. You are literally crafting the UI from scratch. You know that merge conflict problem we talked about? Well, the biggest advantage here is that you completely eliminate it. Gone. Since everything is just plain text in a code file, tools like Git can easily merge changes from lots of developers. The downside is speed, at least at first. It's slower to see what you're building, and it often means writing more setup code up front. This quote just nails the whole philosophy. Do you need a really complex dynamic animation or a layout that completely changes based on what the user does? Code gives you the raw power to control every single pixel and every single behavior, with zero limitations from a visual tool.
Okay, we've met our 3 contenders. We've seen their strengths, we've seen their weaknesses. Now it's time to put them all head-to-head in the ultimate showdown.
So after all that, what's the verdict? Who takes the crown? Which approach is the best? Well, as you're about to see, the real winner, it really depends on the kind of fight you're picking. This table right here, it brings everything together. You can see a really clear pattern, right? Storyboards are the fastest for just getting something up and running, but they do not scale well for teams or big projects. On the complete opposite end, the programmatic approach is the slowest to start, but it offers the most scalability and is the only one with zero risk for teamwork. And XIBs? They sit right in that nice middle ground, giving you great reusability with a pretty low risk for collaboration. Honestly, this table is your cheat sheet. So, as you can probably tell, there isn't one single winner that's right for everybody. The final verdict isn't really for me to decide. It's for you to judge, based on what your project actually needs. So let's break down how you make that choice. Okay, let's make this super simple. Here's the final takeaway. If you're building a quick demo or a small app all by yourself, storyboards are your best friend. Go for it. If your main goal is to create a library of reusable components that you can use across your app, XIBs are perfect. And if you're on a large team, building a complex app that needs to grow and last for years, going programmatic is the safest, most scalable bet you can make. And that leaves us with one last, really important question to think about. It's easy to pick the right tool for the app you're building today, but the best developers, they're always thinking about the future. What will your app need to become tomorrow? The answer to that question, that will tell you which path you should really take.